Orkney is a long way from Gaza, both in distance and culture. But that doesn't stop us here in Orkney joining with people throughout Scotland, the UK, and the rest of the world to condemn the appalling violence perpetrated on the innocent men, women, and children of Gaza. So, as in the last 3 Saturdays, around 50 people gathered on the steps of the St Magnus Cathedral to hold a vigil for the desperate situation in Gaza. So, how desperate is this situation? The news is currently centred around Al-Shifa, the biggest hospital in Gaza, which, as well as the hundreds of patients and medical personnel, has many thousands of people seeking refuge from the conflict. It is now surrounded by Israeli soldiers shooting into the compound and making occasional raids looking for evidence of a Hamas stronghold. I tried to find out more about what was going on by looking and listening to a range of news broadcasts from different sources. But as each claim and counterclaim added to the confusion of this complex situation, I realised that it was becoming a smokescreen, obscuring the real humanitarian issue. Nobody should have to live in these conditions, and the fighting just has to stop. Picking sides doesn't help. The only support needed is food, water, power, and medicine. The indiscriminate slaughter of civilians, including thousands of children, has to stop. Every country around the world should be calling for a ceasefire and providing the aid needed to bring some peace and safety to everybody in Gaza.
They're withholding medical supplies, withholding electricity, food, water, basic support. It's inhumane and wrong.
It's easy to get very emotionally involved. But yeah, I have very strong feelings about this. Not only about the Al-Shifa hospital, but the attacks on the refugee camps. The amount of propaganda that is going on right now on social media. And also how all of this is reflecting in our Western governments. There's quite a lot. I'm pretty disillusioned with our government. You know, it sort of puts into a crisis everything, the whole system of belief and of value that we like to market a lot in the West. We like to say that we are the best, basically. That we are democratic, we're this, we're that, and I think the facade is falling. And it's very dystopic in a way. We really need to take a hard look at our curriculum right now and the way we look at the present times. Because right now I feel like studying history is completely useless. You know, same things keep happening.
I mean, I guess we're in solidarity with the people of Palestine and the people in Gaza specifically. We've been here for 3 weeks now, and we'll be here until anything's to happen.
We're just delighted to see every week a growing number of people coming out in support of justice for Israel and Palestine, of course. The situation in Gaza is getting worse and worse, and I think the public are saying enough is enough. We need to stop the bombing, allow humanitarian aid into Gaza to support all the people who are now starving and thirsty and lacking in medical supplies. We need to see the hostages go home and stop this carnage.
You know, and the fact that so many of the people who were kidnapped and murdered were from a part of Israel where there's huge support for Palestinians and huge effort to work for a just peace. So I wanted to reflect that, really.
I'm Moira Gordon, and I've been a long-term member of Amnesty International and also Orkney Friends of Palestine. I've always been supportive of the Palestinians and their need for independence, and peaceful life. And what's happened recently has just been appalling, and we've got to try and stop it and certainly show our support to Palestine, and particularly to our friends at Shufat camp who visited recently.
The basic thing is that we need a ceasefire. Whether either of the warring factions want one is a debatable point, but in the interests of humanity, we cannot sustain this amount of what we charmingly call today collateral damage. And basically, I am against war.
That's one thing that got me, because with frustrated.
After most people had left, I finally managed to catch Robert Leslie, the SNP candidate for Orkney and Shetland.
I think that despite the weather, we still had about 50 folk here today, which was really encouraging, because obviously have to keep the pressure on at the grassroots level to make sure that politicians are listening. We had the ceasefire vote that the SNP had put that forward, and it was disappointing to see so many Labour folk sitting on their hands on that one, and we just need to keep going. I think there's an international feel that a ceasefire's the only way, and when you see the atrocious conditions that folk are putting up with on a daily basis in Palestine, I don't know how we can argue against that, to be honest. So we just keep going with this, and we'll do it every week until we see change.